Sort of going to film out a sequence here because what I wanted to film was Refined Riding Part 3 with one of my horses, but we have a horse here that came from Oklahoma. He hasn't been ridden. He was at another trainer's for a little bit. Now, before I get into that, I'm not putting the other trainer down. You know, some trainers, they deal with quarter horses, they deal with a certain bloodlines which are real quiet and everything else. So they come across something like him and some of their ways just don't match. So they try to force him to take a saddle and everything else, and it wasn't pretty. I can tell you that from the first day. This would be our third day, I think. Third time right now starting with him. And the first day I saddled him up in the barn in the stall. Well, that didn't go too well. He took the saddle well, but as soon as I started tightening him down, he started bucking and off he went. Now I'm going to go through the process, and he'll probably react, but he won't react as bad as he did. But I'm going to go through all the steps to where we got to today. Yesterday we put a saddle on him and it went pretty smooth. He did react, but it was after he had it on for a little bit, and then we start moving into lope. At a walk trot he was not bad, but when we start pushing him, and that's to be expected with a green horse. And so I'm going to grab my 40-foot cotton rope and go through all the process. Now mind you, when we first started with the rope around the barrel, we had another long line on his halter to keep him off the rail so he doesn't get tangled up in the rail if he's bucking. Now he's to the point now we can get by with a shorter lead line, and like I said, he'll probably look more. I like to see him not react this morning, but he probably will still going to react, but it's the duration of time that's going through it to get there. So I got my 40-foot. Honey?
I'm getting the rail. I don't like it.
Yeah, that's not going to work. Cut. Now I got my 40-foot cotton rope. And what I do, I put a heavy clamp on it, so when he does the right thing, I can just let the pressure off, and it'll take that pressure off his barrel. But like I said, and also I got my suspicions. I can't say 100% because I wasn't there, but look at his conformation. He doesn't have no withers. So if somebody tried to put a saddle on him the first time and didn't use a breast collar, it could have went bad quickly, because the saddle level just went underneath him, and then you got a problem. And also Jesse, who's the owner, said something. He saw a dummy there next to the round pin, and that was a warning sign to him. Now, because you know, dummies are all fine and good, but the problem with dummies, if you don't have that thing secured well enough, and if it comes off or start hanging around, you're going to scare the horse. It's going to end up doing more damage than it does good. You know, it's just as easy. Go through all your steps, and that's what we went with him. You know, we didn't go to step 2 until we got step 1 down. All right, Jess. Go ahead and drop your flag. Take the pressure off though. Let's get in the middle. Now I really like this horse. We get through his little quirks. I got a feeling I'm going to find out this horse going to have a good worth ethic, and that goes a long way to me. I can't stand a horse that doesn't have a good worth ethic, and these people that spoils their horses like they spoil the kids. You know, come on, Jess. Their worth ethic is terrible. It'll wake Jess up there for a minute. Now, when I do this, important for Jess to stay on this side with me. You can go ahead and hold on the rope now because it'll be just as easy for you. Let them out. Go ahead and shake your barrel rope a little bit and move them out. No, your barrel rope. Hold on, I'll give you a hand there, Jesse. All right, you go ahead and unclip them. I'm gonna have Jess unclip them, but I'm gonna point out again and stress when you first do this, don't do it free. Go ahead and get in the middle, Jess, and I'll take over. Now put the pressure on them. Now go ahead and let the rope slide. You got 40 foot of rope there, son. Now I like 40 foot of rope because I can stand, when I do this by myself, I can stand in the middle of the round pin. Oh, this is great. Y'all don't know how good this is, do they, Jess? All right, put pressure on it. Go ahead now, keep the pressure on there, Jess. Let's get them to stop. So we're at a point now, I'm gonna have Jess keep that pressure on it. Now Jess, walk behind them, just like we did. Come on, keep the pressure on them. And keep pulling, pulling. And you can work, if you got a horse that's girthy, cinchy, there we go, go ahead. Now what we've done the last 2 days is teach him, instead of bucking and going nuts over the pressure, we're teaching him to give to it. And go ahead and ask him back up again, Jess. So hold it. There we go. Keep pulling. So right there, see, he's pulling. Go ahead a little bit more, Jess. There you go. So he's leading that horse with a barrel rope on him. All right, release. And like I said, this is real good today. This, like I said, me and Jess both made comments a couple times. We'd love to have had a picture of that first day when we saddled him, because when he got rid of the saddle, it wasn't good enough he had to get rid of the saddle. In midair, he ought to play soccer, because in midair he kicked the saddle to get it farther. He's a trip. All right, I'm going to ask him to move forward again, Jess. There we go. Put the pressure on him. Good. Keep the pressure on him. There we go. That's what we want. All right. So what we're going to do, it's not well enough. Just put. I'm going to move this rope up and down. Good boy. Now right there was great. He moved off, just put some pressure on it. And y'all know, usually rule of thumb, you get something around a horse's flank, they go nuts, even a broke horse. But watch him. Just putting just slight pressure. Go ahead and do it again. There. Keep the pressure on, keep it on there. Keep it on there. All right, now relax. No, as soon as he stops. Now, if you look at that rope, as soon as he stops, Jess can let some slack in it and take that pressure off of him. But it's very important for Jess not to take that pressure off of him until he stops. Yeah, just hold it steady. All right, add a little bit. Just hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Just hold that. There we go. Good boy. There we go. That's sweet. There you go, right there. Put some pressure on it. All right, now walk behind them. See, with this long rope also, we can do things where we're safely out of the way. And with me helping Jess, there you go, pull. There you go, good boy, good boy. A little bit more. And like I say, you can do this with a Century horse. All right, take the pressure off him. And there's a lot of things, you know, I love to have, but you know, but we didn't get on film. So first time we got him backing up when the rope was on his flank area, he was moving off the rope, the pressure, but he still wasn't relaxed. And like I pointed out, Jess, if you looked at his muscles, they're on his rump and coming down to his hock, you can see that skin and all maybe tightened up, or you see it twitching a little bit. Even though he's backing up, and I explained to Jess, we cannot stop doing that until he backs up freely. Go ahead, ask him back up again, Jess. So we want him to back up like that. You know, he's relaxed. That butt muscle is not tight. You can see it. You can actually see the muscle moving, you know, rolling and stuff, twitching. So this is, you know, how we got to here. So we're going to put a saddle on him. Yeah, go ahead and hold it. No, that's all right. Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. No, let it go ahead, don't, you don't have to. You got plenty of rope there, Jess. All right, stop him, pull. Then stop, put some pressure on there until he stops. Just put steady pressure. Steady, just steady. Just keep the pressure on him, because we want him to stop. Not hard pressure, just easy pressure. There. Because I wanted Jesse to stop him, but he was pulling too hard. I just wanted steady pressure on there. And that's what one nice thing about using Jess. He's going to do some things not completely correct, where I don't think about it. So now he's ready to put the saddle on him. And like I said, the shame of it is, you know, y'all didn't get to see that first day and really appreciate how good he did this morning. I mean, that little bit bucking right there, shoot, you take even a broke horse and you put a rope around their flank area and it's going to happen. All right, release. Now, what I'm going to do here, go ahead. And this, what I'm fixing to do next, just let him pull that rope, is really nice for girthy horses. Because, you know, I'm not going to just automatically put the saddle on him. All right, Jess, you want to get your in? So I don't have him tied to that rail. I just got a couple of loops, so give him some drag. But let's say you got a girthy horse. So I'm going to sit here and put some pressure on him. And right there, he's not reacting, so I'm going to let it come off. Might shake my rope a little bit and then slide down. Then, hey, hon, if I get on the other side, will I be too close to the camera?
I got the floor in the way.
Oh, okay.
You'll be all right. You know, I'll be on the good.
So now let's say you got a girthy horse that likes to get witchy right now or do whatever, bite at it. What I would do, you know, like with two people here, my rule of thumb on the head, this end where Jesse's holding, just if he goes backing up, don't try to stop him because he's got a couple loops on there, but just put a little bit of drag on there and he's going to stop on his own eventually. But if he goes side to side, I'm not going to, you know, give him any head. But let's say you got a witchy horse that's trying to bite at you and this and all. So I would do this, hold my rope steady, pressure on it, and do not release it until you see the horse relax somehow. And that very first time, it might be like that, ears forward. Don't wait for the old adage, licking the lips. most time by the time you've missed an opportunity to teach them to relax by the time they've licked their lips. There's so many subtle ways that they start to show relaxation besides licking the lips. Like right then, see, his first thing was his ears. So I'm just going to pull, and I'm going to hold it right there. Get a headshot, hon. I'm going to pull right there. His ears are forward. And he's looking, so that's good. He's looking around. He's not paying no attention to this rope. Now, I'm going to move the rope, but now I'm not going to move it as far to his flank area. But I will move it about where my back girth's going. And I got plenty of rope here now if he started trying to kick up. You know, I'm out of the way. Jesse's got a 40-foot rope there. He can get out of the way. And we just hold it. He's got one ear forward, both ears forward. Both ears are forward. So I'm not going to wait for that proverbial lick the lips routine, because the quicker the pressure and release method, it works the best is when you're able to see that first sign of a relaxation. So like I said, by the time, go ahead and pet on him, Jess. By the time you see licking the lips, that first few times, you've missed the opportunity to get farther quicker by not looking at the other signs. And I like watching the ears more than anything, or the head level, because usually, if you really pay attention, them ears will relax before they start licking and chewing.
I got a question. He kept picking up his hind legs. Is that irritation at the
No.
He cut it a little
He
bit.
just nipped it a little bit.
Okay.
That's nothing.
He cut it a little bit on my coronary vein.
And just right from it. So I'm gonna get up here and pet on him a little bit. And like I said, with a round back horse, I'm gonna say it again. I use a breast collar. Now, on these type of horses, I guess I'll do a little bit of sales pitch. Of course, y'all know I'm not good about it. But the one breast collar we carry, I really like it because it helps keep that saddle secure better than your normal Western style breast collar. Now, the first time we got a saddle on him yesterday, I hadn't, no, don't hold him, remember? Knock that urge. Jesse is just like normal people. He wants to try to hold him. And we went through that yesterday. I'm going to get to my point here in a minute. I want him to think he can move around somewhat. His horses are claustrophobic. So and stuff, like right now, if I can get after him, try to get him to hold still, it's not going to go well. Not well at all. So if he wants to move around a little bit, that's fine. You want to grab hold of that, both ends, Jess? Now what I do, I get my breast collar set up as quick as I can. So that way, when I get this front girth a little snug to it, it's going to keep that saddle in place and not roll underneath them, and you can't get rid of it. And all I'm doing right now is getting the girth. No, not now. Right, then I corrected Jess to not pet on him right now, because especially the way he just patted on him, right now he's thinking about the saddle, and that's what a lot of people don't think. That could have set him off. So now just back away. So right now we're not going to worry about it. Back a little further, Jeff. Worry about tightening it down. I got it snug to keep it in place. I'm not going to worry about that back girth right now. I'm going to give him a minute. There, right there. He softened up just a tad. So now I'm going to get my back. Now on a horse like this, I'm not going to tighten that back girth too tight the first few times. I'm going to get it where he can't get his foot in there. And I'm going to tighten my first front girth up a little bit more. Then we're going to back away, leave him alone. Now, at this instance, we're going to unhook him. But instead of dealing with that long rope over there and unhook that, okay, get the rope, unhook that. I'm going to use my long rope here and just unhook that and then hook this to it so I don't have to fill apart with that other line. Because number one rule here, safety's first, completely, for his sake and everything. And I can't, one of my pet peeves, these people that saddles a horse for the first time, is they get that saddle on and just let him go. So you'll hear a horse put a foot through the rail or something, or if something bad happens, they can't get in there to control that horse. That's why first few saddle-ons, I'm gonna have a rope on him. And matter of fact, I don't really free lunge horses anyway. Most time I either start them in the arena or I always keep a line on them. After they got a lot of training on them, then I might do it once in a while. So we're just going to do this. All right, Jess, let that go. Take this. Now go ahead and back away from him. So what we're going to do right now, nothing. I want him to stand free, per se. And I want to try to let him take them first few steps on his own. Because, you know, when he takes that first step on his own, he's going to be a little bit more relaxed. And if I sit here and push him at the wrong time, we're liable to push him over top. And, you know, I want to keep him down to about 3 as far as tense level. I don't want it to go up to 5 and above. And by the time it hits 6 and 7, you got, you know, that's when it starts getting to full-time hard buck. And he's probably going to react, and I know it. So I'm not going to be disappointed if he does. Because this is, like I said, this is only our third day with him. And right now, like I said, this is a big plus with him. All right, Jess, get in the middle, son. So I encouraged a little bit just to get him walk off. I don't want him to run off, if possible. You know, I don't really want him to trot. Get your line off the ground. No, this line. This part. Get that slack up. There we go. Good boy. Now, right now, what people don't realize, right there, when he stops right there like that, to me, that's just as bad as a buck. Because he's tight, the head comes up. Like right there, see how the head, ears go back and the head's up?
He likes that gate.
Yeah, he does. Now, I said earlier, I don't really work horses free. After he gets relaxed for a few times, I will let him go free, but it's just so he gets used to movement with that saddle. All right, we're going to reverse him. Oh, that's better. That time, that was a different stop. And of course, hopefully I can point out the difference. I took the pressure off him, so he disengaged that hip and he stopped. It wasn't a reaction to that, feeling that pressure of the girth. So I'm going to take the pressure off of him. There. Now, with subtleties of that, and if you rewind this, you can see it. When he was stopping for the pressure of the girth, it was a hard stop. And when I take the pressure off of him and asked him to stop, it wasn't a hard stop. He just came down to a walk and then stopped. Good boy. Here, Jess. Now, all honestly, I'll probably use the rope routine one more time with him, and from there we'll just go to putting the saddle on him. Now, the second day I worked him, I had to fight that urge. He was doing pretty good, but he sort of was telling me he was ready to try to put a saddle on him, but my gut feeling said no. So we worked him with Brave Eagle and all. That's pretty good. So this is, you know, we just keep going through over and over again. Let me have that. So, before we do stop, I'm going to ask for a canter. And that's probably going to be, if he does react, good. Now right there, he started going to canter. But the reason I backed off of him, not put him in a canter, was because he did not buck. We did not get a negative reaction. There. So I took that pressure off of him. There. Good. Yeah, gotta do it a little bit more time. The reason I wanted to go back to do it again, because he got a little head up in the air and got a little nervous. But he still didn't buck, so that's a good thing. Okay, that's pretty much how we're going to go through with it, with him. I mean, no use to keep showing repeat, because he's doing real good. I don't want him to stop, Jess. And, you know, when you first start these horses, it's very important. Go step by step by step. Don't worry about, you know, I got 30 days on it with them and I haven't got on them yet. Don't worry about that part. Like you take Suka, you know, go way back when I first ride with him, he's had that saddle on for about 30 days. And he's such a strong horse, I ground drove him because I want to get a soft mouth on him and prepared that first ride. So I get on him and I sit there, and it wasn't fast, but I'm sitting there doing the prettiest 360 you ever seen. This is our first ride, so we didn't lose time actually. Actually, we probably got farther ahead. And Cindy, this is my favorite story with Suka, real quick. Going to a Mustang Expo, he had 20 days riding on him. And So I was going to do a cow horse clinic. So Cindy comes up to me, asks me who I'm going to use, and she probably don't remember it. And I said, "Oh, I'm going to use Suka." And she said, "Well, you only got 20 days on him, David." I said, "I ain't worried about it." So I get in there, and we had this one ornery cow. He wanted to keep going through the fence, through the hole, and I was shutting down the hole and as I'm instructing people how to work cows. Well, this cow got tired of me shutting that hole up, and he came up, put his head between Suka's back legs. Suka went straight up in the air, and when he came back down, I start talking like nothing ever happened. And I wish I had a camera, get a picture of everybody. We had about 15 people in that one. Got a picture of them, and their mouths dropped it wide open, like they didn't, "Hey dummy, you didn't realize what just happened." But that was a cool story. I always liked that one. But like I said, we went through all the steps, and at the end of the day, it was real easy. And him, I tell you, matter of fact, just verify this. First thing, he asked me if I had a big pole in the middle of the round pen, and I looked at him and says, "No." And I was like, So we go through the steps before we get it. So that's it. What we'll be doing with him next is working him from another horse and everything, pony him and such, and me get over top of him. So I hope y'all get something out of this. And remember, one step at a time. When they show any signs of giving to that pressure, take the pressure off of them. That's the key point on something like this. But you can't give in to them. And safety on something like this, with like the first day with him, safety's first and foremost. So make sure if you have a horse like him, if you can, do a buddy system and have long ropes on them, so you keep them off the rail, and with the buddy system, with the flag and everything, they keep them off you. I cannot stress be safety first. So with all that said, to my kids, grandkids, a special person out there, watch Daily Academy. God bless, take care. Christmas time is coming, so don't forget about our head stalls, our books, and our merchandise. Our head stalls, you can't beat them. I'm really proud of them more than anything. So, yeah, I had to put a plug in there. So with that said, be true to the horse, they'll be true to you, and first and foremost, be true to yourself.
One more shot of cookie.
Okay.